Welcome everyone back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
This is Apothecary Diaries, Season 2, Episode frickin' something. 13? I don't remember. 12?
14? No. I don't know.
I can't remember. All I know is that they are in the cave together. Mm-hmm. They're caving. They're straight caving right now. And we're gonna find out if Jinshi will finally say something to her or if we'll have to wait till the season finale. Leave a like, subscribe, let's go. Can't wait to get a new OP.
But this one's so good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be sad.
Yeah, this one's such a banger. Oh no, what's going on? Where's the prince? That's impossible. What? What?
He just has to keep standing there. No, bro's gonna let it keep going.
Yeah, right. This is it's the opposite of the fucking anime trope of like the main character falls and like, could you move your hand please, and it's on her tit. It's literally the other way around.
She looks so pissed off.
There were so many other hints. This music.
Yeah.
This music.
No, he's fine. Come on, let's go. Listen to this, you bitch.
You couldn't have said a toad.
Okay.
Wiping.
Out of purposeful ignorance.
Fuck no. Whoa! Okay then. You gonna rape her right now? What the fuck is going on? Are you sure about that?
The dog! Oh! Okay, well the dog getting down here doesn't
what was it gonna do?
Oh, good. I thought he could wait at the top and like bark a lot.
Oh, uh-oh. What's he gonna do if he sees him?
なるほど。ベイファで狙われて滝に飛び込まれたと。顔までは見えなかったな。ご無事で何よりです。ねえ、なんでジョーちゃんがこの方といるんだよ。
節度しか。
ああ
I mean, don't say that.
ベイファを持ってきているものは。いえ、森の狩りには暗殺のために隠し持ってきたと考えるのが妥当でしょう。身を改めるか。
客は師匠様に招待された交換ばかりです。暗殺の道具を手元に置くような真似はしないかと。李白様、その犬は笛で呼ぶ以外に何かしつけをしていますか？
track something?
ウサギの穴を探すくらいはできるみたいだな。
今日はあるが。
なんだ。
怒ってる。あんな行動に出られてついやったが、
Just
ジンシ様は何かを伝えようと
was
してい
important.
た。知りたくないからとめちゃくちゃな言い逃れをした。ご自分の姿に大層な自信を持つお方だ。それもさぞやご立派であろう。そこそこなどと。気まずいが、言うべきことは言わねば。もしかしたら先ほど発砲した人物を特定できるかもしれません。
失礼します。なんだ。こちらを。
おい、それは
主の衣です。川の岩場に引っかかっているのを発見しました。近くには誰もおらず、その昨夜の雨で増水もしています。もし流されていたら早く捜索しろ。
は、急げ。
今さら慌てたところで遅い。では私も捜索に加わってまいります。
It's a trick.
Are they gonna watch like who goes for the guns first? Or something?
He knows
Yeah.
Yeah.
なんだ。
申し訳ありません。
しつけの入ってない犬だ。
よしよし。
Was the rag like that? Did they find the guns maybe and then wipe the rag on them to get the scent?
Maybe.
And then the dog like found the person with the scent?
バス様。それは。
主の衣だ。これは近く。辺りに人は瓦が濡れていないので周辺にはおられないかと。ですがこちらも衣と一緒に。赤の羽。
鷹狩りの験担ぎにこしらえたものでしょうか。
申し訳ないが皆の身を確かめさせても。
Oh, giving excuses to check everyone's luggage and stuff.
Who had. Oh.
川辺で発見したものと同じようです。
Which is not.
何かの間違いだ。
ではなぜあなたの矢が主の衣とともに川辺にあったのですか、ロエンド。
誰かが親と入れ替えたんだ。私を落とし。
That is precisely what happened.
ロエンの同意は本物に見える。ルカたちの様子にもない。では他に落ちている矢がないかを調べてみてはいかがでしょう。川辺以外の森の中もしっかりと。わかった。しっかりと森の中。
He's trusting Lee Haku because he probably knows something he doesn't. He's really smart. Bossin.
Dog.
With the dog.
食いついてくれるといいが。
Oh, the guy's gonna go straight to the spot and dig up the guns.
嫌なんて知らんぞ。
何かあるのでしょうか。
Exactly who you don't want to see in the fucking forest.
返せ。さっきの。
Good dog.
Good dog.
随分犬に嫌われているようです。この匂い。あのいい犬ならすぐ反応します。犬を連れて行かなかったのはこのためですね。
So I left him at home
中
with the
身は
dog.
押収済みです。歯が3丁入っていました。
異国のものだ。おそらく細胞の最新型だろう。匂いがする。ずいぶん小型ですね。私もこの方は初めて見た。
Whoa.
金属の部分で火花を。
硫黄を混ぜて作った火薬が爆発すると抑えたくなるような匂いを発します。まるで卵が腐ったような。そう、崖の上で撃たれた時と同じ匂いです。猟犬に火薬の匂いを嗅がせたらすぐにこのフェした。
Such a good dog.
それを撃った逃げた火薬の匂いも嗅ぎ当てるのですから賢い犬です。
お前は偉いな。
The dogger's gonna keep this dog.
おっさんたちには悪いことしたの。
Yeah, poor guy, but he helped.
待て、先ほどの銃声はお怪我は。姿を消したかと思えば突然衣の切れ端を見せられて、私は一体どうしたことかと。すまない。状況は、この者の関係者たちいつでも捕獲できるよう見張っております。あとは罪状を明確にするだけだな。はっ。
He doesn't seem very happy with her right now.
I can't imagine why.
昼の失踪事件は表向きは覆面のお方の気まぐれということで処理された。その宴でとある艦の一派が消えたことは周知の。今後あの者たちも表舞台に出ることはあるまい。
Yikes.
何かあったのかおつ。だがジンシ様の代理としてここにいる自分、それを気にする立場にない。まだまだだな。
宦官にはつまらんかな。
いえ、楽しませていただいております。
しかし大変です。女帝の怒りを買ったばかりに宦官になど。
ですから
That's the story, I guess.
いい月見酒ですよ。宦官となりマーの名を捨てガオシュンと名を改めた。だが宴の折にはマーの家の者として扱われる、そういうことになっている。
それにロガシの宦官殿が今回の狩りに
This really is too bad, isn't it?
残念だ。
覆面のお方が来ていらっしゃいますから。
あれだけ美しいお顔が参加、それだけで嫌味になってしまいますからな。覆面のお方はご尊顔に白いやけどの跡があるとの噂を持っていると聞きますし、帝も心配で。あれが東宮とは。
ええ、あれか。東宮への敬いはどこにもない。
どうなのです？先の巫女様の考慮以来、誰か身ごもった妃な。
さあ、私は会いに行く。失礼、少し酔いました。皆見定めようとしている。こたびの狩りの主賓、すなわち帝の弟君がにふさわしい人物であるかどうか。ジンシ様はシャオマオに真実を伝えられる。
Tried his best.
今後起こりうる問題に対処知らせておく必要がある。それだけ利用価値のあるですね。貴重な言い方だが使える手は多い方がいい。
今回もまた気持ちの悪い幕引きだ。フェイファの出所、連中の目的、分かっていないことが多すぎる。
おそらく裁縫の最新型だろう。
裁縫か。鏡合わせのように瓜二つの特使たちぐって部屋を抜け出したという話も、おそらく特使たちのことだろう。一体何をしていたのか。子をはらんだ例え話の妹のもくろんでいたか、それとも何か吐いてくれたらいいけど。
少しいいか。
なぜここに出てたんじゃないのか。
No, this is important.
開けなくていい。随分と驚かせてしまって悪かった。
どんな顔をしているのか見なくてもわかる。こちらこそ申し訳ありませんでした。そこそこなんて言って。私は昔から人の心の機微には疎い。くれた姉ちゃんたちは仕事第一の記者だ。いくら泣こうが仕事が終わるまで放置された。
So sad.
そのうち悟ったのか、甘い赤子になったらしい。だからなのか、好意にも悪意にも鈍感だ。 何を言ったらいいかもわからない。私は何も口にしません。私にとってジンシ様はジンシ様です。これが正直な気持ちだ。あるかないかの違いなんて別に見るわけでもないし、私には関係ない。
お前にとって俺は俺か。警戒するな。これを渡したいだけだ。これを渡すとともにずっと伝えようと思っていた。お前には迷惑をかけるかも。
これは
今回の旅に来てもらった。
Oh, the thing! A bunch of them!
まだ進まなかった。ようやく手に入って、そうありがとうございます。
You probably should have said it before
Yeah,
that.
you should have said it before. No, you're not gonna say it.
Even if you said it 10 times, she wouldn't even remember.
No! 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 You idiot.
ジン様が宦官かどうかなんてどうでもいい。オーブンの恩はある。もし秘密がバレて消されたら、その時はちゃんと本物の宦官にしてあげよう。
I'm being serious, for fuck's sake.
花の文字を冠する者は今現在2人のみ。国の頂点に立つ帝、そして
ジン様、
Mm.
月の木。いつまでも仮初めの立場ではいられませんよ。あなたはこの国の帝の弟。
Oh my god, I.
月なのだから。
Ooh.
ZUIGETSU'S. That's his real name.
I can't believe. Well, she. Yeah.
Well, now it's like revealed.
Yeah.
You know, to the
It's
to the
revealed
audience.
to us, and she gets like the half reveal. But she won't let him say the full thing. I love how he's like, he gives them to her, and it's like, you should have led with the reveal and then given her that as compensation for the reveal.
Yeah, part of me does wonder like how much this is like making the thing last, you know? Like making this big, it's not a reveal, they like revealed it at this point, but it's like making the drama of this thing last in your story.
Yeah.
Like, because you know, if she's going to this length to not go into it, because I also think it's just more dramatic it's just more dramatic if we go forward in the story and she's not on the same page, you know?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things to it, because it's like,
But it is also, to just before, it's also a character thing. Like it's not just a you know, a writing thing to keep her in the dark because it's more dramatic. It's also, you know, I think they made it pretty clear why both of them want or don't want to reveal the truth or to get closer or whatever. Like there's a lot to go into with that character wise, and you know, it a lot with the romance as well. But I think it serves a double purpose. I think it is to keep it more dramatic. But it's, you know, it's not like it doesn't have a place in the story or in their relationship, this sort of ambiguity. But anyway, sorry.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, it's like, because of the nature of this, it's like there are 3 separate reveals that are going to like be happening over the course of the story. Because first it was the reveal that he's not really a eunuch. Second is the reveal that he's the brother of the emperor, and then third is the reveal that he's actually the son of the emperor and not the brother of the emperor. So there's like a three-part thing. So it's like first, and it is, you know, there's all these mysteries and there's all this other stuff, but also the show is a romance, so like very clearly. So it's like, okay, first it's like the whole thing where it's like he really likes her, but she's just like, oh, get out of here. Plus he's a eunuch, so whatever. There's no point in getting too invested. Now she knows that he's not a eunuch. So then it's just like, so then it could potentially allow her to like be like, oh, maybe I'm, more interested in him.
Yeah.
But without but you have to keep the fact that he's the crown prince a secret because
from her, but it's not a secret from us.
Yeah, but you have to keep it a secret from her so that she allows her feelings to grow because she's like, oh, maybe there's a chance because he's just this random like non-eunuch guy.
Yeah.
But then the second complication will come when it's revealed that he's the prince, and then she's like, I cannot fucking get involved in that. You're like next in line to be the emperor. Get away from me.
Mm-hmm.
But then if one of the pregnant women that's currently pregnant ends up having a son, then it could be, or if they both have sons.
I bet they're gonna have miscarriages.
But what I'm saying is if they both have sons, then Jinshi is off the hook because he's the brother of the emperor, but the emperor has multiple male heirs. So don't worry, he's not even on the table. Maomao, maybe you can like allow yourself to be all right with this because you guys really love each other.
Yeah.
So that's the next level. But then the like final thing is like then then he's revealed to be the crown prince, but she's already in too deep, and then and
then she becomes empress.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't know how that's gonna go. Like, how will they possibly reveal, like, once Shisho, say, is dealt with, like, in this possible future where, they've been keeping secret that he's actually his son and his eldest male heir, that they've kept kind of secret and hidden and protected by, passing him off, or are they just gonna be like, oh, we've kept him in hiding this whole time, and then the brother dies conveniently around the same time that he's revealed to have a male heir. Like, are people just going to accept that? Are they even going to go in that direction? Because I feel like that's it could go either way. Like, just, is Jinshi going to... Does the emperor plan to make Jinshi, or I guess ZUIGETSU'S, or whatever you want to call him, we'll call him Jinshi. Does he plan to make him his, like, actual heir, or is he just, like, keeping him alive, and that's what he cares about most with him? I don't exactly know how Jinshi's gonna factor into all this. I don't even know if Jinshi actually wants to be emperor. It seems like he probably does, the way him and Gaoshun are always talking about pawns, etc. But I don't know if they're talking about pawns in the context of just keeping themselves safe against people who are trying to fuck with them. Or what, but, like, Gaoshun had that thing of, like, this is gonna sound cool, but we need every useful pawn we can get. There's like a million things to talk about. So these girls were the mirror girls?
Yeah.
What about this made her put together that there was a mirror involved and they look identical? It's like
I think it's like, okay, so they tell her the story of like, oh, these two girls, and then they, sneak out and one of them gets pregnant, but it's like one of the getting pregnant is just like one of them like gets like they get something from outside that they shouldn't been able to get, so they're sneaking around.
Yeah, I get the connection that these are like Western guns, probably brought in by the caravan, but connecting that to the mirror girls story, like sneaking out, tricking their guards, what were they sneaking out like that? Like the metaphor of the younger sister becoming with child. Were they after a man, or... It's just that how she gets from these girls here to the story of these mirror girls was probably about them. It's like, based on what information? Well,
I think it's like, okay, they tell this story, but it's not actually what they were doing. It's just, they were basically asking Maomao in a roundabout way, okay, these guests are staying here and we're watching them, but we think that one of them is sneaking out to do something, we don't know what.
Right.
So in this theoretical story that we're going to tell you, how would that be happening?
Okay. I forgot that Gaoshun and then that was like a test for her.
Yes.
Right, I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that, because that's why they would ask her about it, is because they're suspecting some fuckery going on. But they don't know
how, and they know that she'll figure out how, so they spin this story that's
and they
like
weren't willing,
theoretically...
yes. Okay, yeah. Never mind. I would have liked her to think about, like, why did Gaoshun ask me about that story? Maybe it was about these identical girls. It was all around the same time. Just, like, a couple extra lines to connect
We
to
did
that,
have
I guess,
previously, like, when she first saw them, she was like, wow, they're not twins, but they're so similar, they could have been the twins in the story.
Did she reference the story?
Yeah, she was like, they could have passed, they could be each other in a mirror if they wanted.
Fuck it. Maybe I'm completely, being too harsh on it. And then, yeah, what's up with this guy? He's just like he's just like being really sneaky and political. He's like drunk, but then he like sharpens up and is like, have that as the crown prince.
Yeah, and Gaoshun's getting all this information of, like, you know, people don't respect the crown prince.
Well, it's like they don't respect the monarchy, because, like, Shisho's over here, super rich, powerful, has inherited, like, the Empress Dowager's will, who was, like, really powerful and in control of everything. So in a way, like, that's been inherited down this other path of, like, this one of the main economic superpowers of this country. And then the emperor has had, like, multiple concubines with miscarriages or children dying, like, when they're young. It's like, think about the low lord in, like, a far off corner, or, like, the common people talking about the emperor. You know, like, the stories that would make it to the far ends of the country. It's like the pattern sounds like, you know, we have an image of the emperor being, like, a really strong kind of, like, dependable looking, honest, and, you know, down to earth leader, like a charismatic guy who has, like, a sharpness about him. Like, he seems like a really good leader. But if you don't see him, if you just kind of list out the events that have happened around him, he's got all these women, and they can't be, you know, they're probably not, like, damaged goods fertility wise, because they're all, like, super fertility goddess. He gets the most fertile women in the world. Like, they're all described and probably known for their beauty and, like, buxomness and all this kind of stuff, and he has, like, a taste for women. So if there's a problem with fertility that's causing these children to die, it's like, it's emblematic of the dying of this line, and it's a story that is spun by whoever's assassinating or causing all of these miscarriages. It reflects badly on his sort of virileness as a man, and his virileness as a man reflects on the strength of the family line, and then that reflects on the strength of the empire. So it's kind of interesting if it is, like, Shisho or whoever is behind all this. I imagine it's Shisho. Whoever's behind undermining all of this, that's kind of like an interesting sub-story there in world, that, like, causing all of the miscarriages and all of these competing concubines to his daughter, for example. You know, it gives her a chance to swoop in and then be the one who provides an heir. But it also, by doing that, shows it puts them in a weakened position, and thus puts him in a stronger position. Shisho, I mean. So that's kind of interesting. But
yeah, I can't believe she didn't find out, but I'm okay with it because of, like, how I was talking about with, like, the story, the, like, kind of eras that the story is gonna probably be going through as their relationship develops and stuff.
And it is also, like, the book, like, the fact that this was a book and now it's a show, so much more information gets communicated visually to us. Like, it can't be understated how much a different medium can, like, kind of ruin the reveals of things sometimes. Like, I think there were times where we got things earlier than other people would, but we were also wrong about a lot of things. And you know, like, but there's a lot of things that I think are extremely clear by this point in the story that were maybe less clear in the books.
I tagged it and I can't remember exactly what it is, but there is, like, a line from, I think I would have to double check, but it's, like, it's either the first time that she sees Jinshi and she is like, wow, he looks like he could be the fucking prince or some shit. Like, I can't remember exactly. I would have to double check.
Or, like,
but
he's as beautiful as a princess.
There was one line that I was just like, this is, like, this, you know, like,
it's a bit too obvious.
This is a bit too obvious, and, like,
it's also, like, multiple translations into, like, different formats as well with, like, the light novel, because the light novel wasn't the original. I thought it was a novel first, or was it originally a light novel? I forget.
I can't remember.
Maybe it was originally a light novel. Oh, it wasn't a manga. It got translated to a manga.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there is lots of things that the show does that the books don't seem to be doing. Like, I found, like, I just finished the first one, and, like, it's just very, like, and it's just very, like, just describing things that happened. Like, I felt like there was interesting, like, facts, like, I tagged a bunch of things to, like, maybe talk about in the discussion of, like, differences or, like, small little, like, things that I noticed. But overall, in terms of the story, I feel like the anime is, like, vastly superior and gave me so much more information. Like, I don't think that I would have even really liked the story very much if I only read it, you know? And I feel like normally you watch a show or you watch a movie and like you read the book and you're like, wow, the book is like way better. It has like way more stuff in it. It's like so superior. But I feel like the show has really elevated the source material in a lot of ways. And in a lot of ways, you know, it does maybe spoil us or like give a reveal in a different way than the book would have. But also, I feel like a lot of that just enhances because I think the show does like the audience to know things.
Yeah, they created the whole situation where maomao, like, and they kind of explained this episode about how she was, you know, grew up in a whorehouse, so like all the women who were in charge of raising her didn't have time, you know, they're women of the night, so she'd be crying and stuff at night and be hungry and wanting attention, and she'd just have to be sitting there by herself because, you know, people are getting plowed in the other room. They don't have time to go like breastfeed her right now or like just, you know, calm her down. They're very popular, like the three most popular fucking courtesans in the world, or in this district at the very least. But anyway, yeah, so they didn't have time to raise her, so she had to, they worked that in specifically at this moment, and it makes sense. It's like it could have been worked in at any point, this idea, but it's pertinent now, which is why we're being told it now, that she had to basically self-soothe to the point where she has difficulty managing other people's emotions, and it partially explains her difficulty in social situations, other than, of course, what she inherited from her father. You know, so it makes sense now because that's why she's like, you know,
she has a hard time.
She doesn't just have a hard. Yeah, she's not just ignoring things. I think that's partly. I think we know that about her by this point, but showing the explanation as to why there's two layers basically. It's like there's her obvious, like, on purpose being ignorant and choosing ignorance because it's safer and it keeps her out of the crosshairs. Yeah. And then there's also another layer of she also genuinely does not pick up on things as naturally as other people. She has a hard time being honest and being vulnerable because she wasn't able to be vulnerable as a child. And then not even mentioning the fact that her mother cut her finger off as a baby. Yeah. And then mailed it to her dad. Like, you know, like the trauma of that situation alone on top of all of this is it cannot be understated as far as emotional maturity. So, you know, I think, you know, it's not, and that's the thing. I think that the story is making the most out of this sort of this reveal, like these or the series of reveals, and this, because in a way the entire hook of the original, like, probably first ideas of the story of there's this apothecary who is lowborn but is secretly has ties to this highborn thing, and then there's this highborn, there's this minister guy who's secretly much higher than he is, you know, and then how do they interact with this sort of both living these fake lives, living under these illusions. You know, she disguises herself with the freckles, and she, you know, is actually highborn, and she's actually way more educated than she should be. You know, she's kind of a fish out of water, and he's literally a fish out of water, but he needs to, like, stay hidden, and she's trying to stay hidden, and just like the whole vibe of the initial hook, like all of this stuff with Jinshi secretly being the prince seems to be what the story was initially sort of set upon, all of it. So making it last as long as possible, it feels kind of frustrating past a certain point, but it's not like they're not moving forward at all. Yeah. And it's also what I'm just realizing is that we're also watching week to week now, so we need to be a little bit more patient and temper our expectations for stuff like that. Because if you're watching this in the future and you're like, wow, they just started getting way harsher this episode for no reason. But I think that's partially why, is that the shock of watching 3 or 4 episodes at once to watching one every week.
It feels like it's moving slower.
It feels like it's moving
actually
slower.
The same.
Yeah. But I think that we just got to keep that in mind going forward, because that's happened before. I think that partially explains why we got frustrated the way we did for, like, ReZero, for example. Like, it might have been a factor, because, you know, we binged all of season 1, and then when season 2 came along, it felt way slower, and because we caught up with it, and that can happen. So we just need to keep that in mind. But I don't know. I'm not against. I understand that it's like the main sort of part of the story, and there's like it was set up cleverly with multiple reveals. So, and at least the author is doing their best to tie it in with the emotions of the characters and have it be this kind of interplay where like Jinshi. Jinshi's like I haven't even talked about what I think about Jinshi's like emotional state with the reveal and trying to tell Maomao the truth. He's been like avoiding it for so long because of like what we said, because of that conversation in episode I think 9 of season 1 where she was like, kill me with poison if you're gonna kill me because I make any mistake, blah blah blah, and then he's like shocked, and then that kind of like stuns him, and he's like, I was kind of attracted to you in a weird way because you were not interacting with me the same way as other people do, with like the same kind of she was very different. She's not like other girls. And then he was getting comfortable with that, but now he just desperately did not want to change that. But it's also, and he was willing, literally, like we said last episode, he was literally willing to risk his life so that so that he could continue like being with having this relationship with Maomao, and because he was afraid, he didn't want it to change with this difference in rank. And that was part of it. But he also, then once he's there and he's like gonna tell her, he's like really wants to tell her, like really wants to be honest with her, and it's very complex in that way, because he's like, he wants to keep her close, and sometimes that means like keeping everything ambiguous and lying and like all this kind of things. But then once he's in there and he's like, maybe I can keep her close by like actually being close with her and actually whatever. And then it's so funny, the whole like sexy kind of steamy scene here, because it was just funny the way like they turned the trope on its head of like how but then why did he put her leg up? Like, was he gonna fuck her here?
No,
like,
he was not. I think he was.
What
just
do you think he was gonna do? Like, put his like get a closer look at the frog in my pants. Like, what could that move have been otherwise? Like, what was this move? What was that move? Like, I'm serious. What the fuck is he doing here?
Yeah.
Like, were they going to fuck? I don't understand. Were they going to fuck here? Cause like, and is it like some weird romantasy, like spicy fantasy, sex fantasy thing where they're like arguing and then he like takes charge and holds her down, and then it's like it's like the female gaze thing on these types of things where like, you know, I don't know, maybe I just don't fucking get it, but like, this is basically like, this is like bordering on rape, but if she wants it, it's okay. Like, is that the kind of thing we're playing with here, where like you only get it if you get it, and she gets it, and they're in this moment together? Is that what's going on?
I feel like
why is he lifting her leg?
I don't know why he's lifting her leg.
What other reason would he have to lift her fucking leg in this cave? And go in for the kiss, and she's down for it. Like, there's no other way to read it, is my point.
Yeah.
Like, so, and so it's like, I think it's weird, but it's also kind of interesting in like a literature way, and I'll explain what I mean. It's like what other show did we talk about this? It was another series back that we watched a long time ago where we talked about how like a series can be sexual without like being gratuitously like etchy, and that's like
Horimiya?
Is that Horimiya? I don't think I said that about Horimiya.
I don't remember.
I forget what show it was. Maybe it was this one, and it was just not that long ago. I think it was a different show, but like, it's not often that sex has a place in anime, you know? Like, it's usually a tongue-in-cheek or like a like pornography. Like, there's not really a lot of like romantic sex in anime, and when there is, it almost inevitably crosses the line into softcore porn, and it's not like, it doesn't have a place in the story. Like it's
It's like you could have just cut it off.
yeah,
And we didn't need to
it's
see
usually
about it.
just an excuse to draw the audience in with sex, because sex sells, that kind of thing, and it's no deeper than that. But with this, it's like the fact that they're doing this sort of like romantic-y, sexy kind of thing where like she, like, does she, like the playing with the sort of like hold me down but let me go but hold me down type thing, like, and they go in for the kiss and she seems fine with it, and then she's like grabbing his dick and that kind of thing. Like they're kind of dancing around it, but they the way that they're portraying this is it's more akin to like a romance novel than it is like a anime, bouncy titties and like balloon tits and weird we sexual fucking fan servicey type shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it like we're really sensitive to like sex stuff in shows because it's just a lot of times it just feels fucking dumb. But like if it's an actual romance that's been building for a long time, then them going this way with it, it's kind of it feels more fitting in a way than like even if it is just to be sexy, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know if any of that makes sense, but
I think like kind of what it is. They're fully clothed. He does the little like leg thing, but he's not like reaching up her skirt and just like
we can't see.
We can see both of his hands.
He's not reaching up his skirt, but he's pulling up her fucking leg.
No, but I'm saying I feel like it's a strong maneuver that clearly is indicating his desires, but they're not actually banging. Is what I'm saying.
Well, of course they're not banging. What?
I don't know.
Point.
I'm trying to. You're not listening to me. I'm trying to articulate what you are saying of like, how it's more like, it's like raising the stakes. It's like, steaming it up a little bit, but it's not just like, okay, and now they're, and now it's like they're in a very sexual position. They've been like falling down into this cave on top of each other. They took off all their clothes, but then they put them all back on, and it was a little bit awkward. And then they fell on top of each other. Oh, first of all, he gave her like CPR and was like doing mouth to mouth with her, and like they're in this cave by themselves and stuff. So it's like they're in a position that they wouldn't normally be in. Kind of, and then he's gonna go in for the kiss, but then they get interrupted by the dog. So it's like ratcheting up the tension,
Yeah. Do you think they're ever gonna have sex in the show?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends. I don't know how long the timeline of the show is, because like, say something happens to the emperor, and he's gonna be the next emperor. He's gonna be expected to have children, and if at that point they're kind of locked in, and he doesn't want to have a bunch of concubines around, then, like, they would probably have to have kids. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, like, if the story would just end, like, and then now he's gonna be emperor, or, like, the story ends on the final reveal of, like, he's next in line to be emperor, then it's, like, I guess it would depend where the, how long it goes. I don't know how long it is, and I don't know if it's still going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this whole
it's just the reason I'm asking is because they we already had sex is already a big part of the story, but we already had the whole scene with Jinshi's mom, the empress, the current empress, like raping the fucking we had a scene where we saw her raping the the previous emperor, or the current empress dowager. I mean. So, it's not like they shy away. It's not like they would never show a sexual encounter like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah.
They've already gone a lot further than just romantic sex. So, as far as what they're willing to depict in the show, so. Mm-hmm.
Oh, she just flies into the bed of the thing and just looks at it. Just, thanks so much! Locks the door. That was so good. I really did like the whole, like, the reveal thing, like how they, you know, they get the dog, and then they also, like, plant these fake arrows and then, okay, well, let's look in the woods, guys. And then they just follow that guy, and he immediately goes and reveals where it is.
It shows Boston is really sharp. He's not just some fucking kid. He is very competent. He stuck to, he had the right instincts. Yeah. Because his dad probably taught him well of, like, okay, I really want to go looking, but, like, I need to stay here. Because he knows that there's some weird shit afoot. So if some weird shit happens, and then he gets the cloth, and he acts surprised, but then he's like, Jinshi's not dead. Yeah. Jinshi is not dead. You know, what are you thinking right now? Like, what is this trying to tell me? He doesn't think like, oh my god, we need to go save them. He thinks like, okay, there's something's going on.
He's cooking something. I have no idea what it is, but I'm gonna go along with it.
Yeah, and then he just picks up on the subtle clues. He just played this part really good. And it was surprising to me, like how cool he was under pressure there. Yeah. I don't know what Jinshi was thinking, just fucking shooting this thing into the air. Like, first of all, it was just loaded. Maomao loaded it, wrapped it up in cloth, and was just carrying it around. She could have blew her fucking other pinky off. Yeah. He's just like, oh, strange implement.
Everyone in the surrounding woods. Oh my god, what is going on here?
Kosen-sama. By the way, is his name Kosen? Why are they calling him Kosen? Does that mean something?
I don't know.
Because ZUIGETSU'S is his true name, but is that his true name as the Emperor's son? Maybe? Is that what we're hearing at the end? Because why would everybody be calling him Kosen if his name is ZUIGETSU'S? The Emperor. Maybe only two people have Ka or flower in their names. The Emperor at the top of the nation and Master Jinshi, or rather, the Moon Prince.
Okay, maybe it's like his name, but then maybe...
You cannot stay in your temporary position forever. After all, you are the Emperor's younger brother. ZUIGETSU'S.
Maybe that's like, it's like a title kind of thing. Like, it's like...
Like, instead of the pure consort, the fucking Jade Pavilion.
Yeah, because, like, I don't think they call, like, the Emperor by, like, his like,
no, they call him the
name.
Emperor.
So, like, I wonder if that's, like, a... You know, you guys are too lowly to be calling the Emperor's younger brother by his full name. Oh. So you're gonna call him, you know, this other name that is, like...
I'm gonna just Google it. Okay. But yeah, I see what you mean. It's like, is it in Japan, like ancient Japan, or am I just thinking of fucking a story where like common people, I mean maybe it's in China as well, but common people literally are not allowed to look at the royal family, like
it's like just offensive.
Yeah, it's like because they have like a divine exceptional right to rule because they're like literally the children of gods or something, or whatever the fucking thing. Maybe I'm thinking of a fantasy series, but it has like a bunch of different fucking meanings. Doesn't look like it means
something specific.
It doesn't look like it. I mean, like what I wanted to know is it a title? And yeah, they're saying Kosen because they don't want to say his name. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it seems like he's talking about him in the context of being the younger brother, which is we know is not true. In like an almost tongue-in-cheek way of like, oh, because you're the younger brother, aren't you? ZUIGETSU'S. And because Ka is like their name, like how Shi is the name of the Shi clan, like Shi Sho. But if they're calling him Kosen, is he supposed to be from like the Ko, you know? ZUIGETSU'S. Because ZUIGETSU'S, I think, is like he's described as like the Moon Prince. I think ZUIGETSU'S has something to do with the moon or some shit, like moonlight or some kind of shit like that. I don't know. I don't know the exact translation, but it's like it's sort of like describing what he is. What else was I gonna say? What else did you want to say then?
I don't know. I'm just like I'm interested to see where the story's gonna go. It seems like Shisho's kind of off the hook for all of this. Seems like the you know the lens is maybe gonna get turned back on the the cousins, if they're still in town or if they left or if they try and come back, you know? Like, because, you know, the guns are from the west. You know, we still have the potential mercury poisoning to, like, go home to, and then it's like, okay, you guys are definitely involved
and maybe
here.
that's why they reminded us of the mirrors.
Yeah, because it's like, if it's like, okay, the guns are clearly from the west, you're like, okay, the guns are from the west. The west already brought in, you know, maybe by accident, but probably on purpose, an entire caravan full of poisonous items that could be used to cause a miscarriage. Then we roll back, oh, these nice gifted mirrors are now the cause of yet another thing. Okay, like, this is 3 strikes and you're out kind of thing. Like, this is clearly you guys that you came here and are, you know, pulling a bunch of stunts.
And they're probably also going to question these guys, because they said they will never be seen in public again. They didn't say they were executed immediately. It's Jinshi and Gaoshun ripping them away and throwing them in a cell to question them.
And
about
they said, I hope
stuff.
that she's like, oh, you know, like, are we gonna get answers? I hope that we do. I hope that they give us some answers, but, like, you know, I can't be involved in that, so we'll find out whether I personally end up hearing anything about it again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I feel like, yeah. I wonder if maomao has clued in that maybe we're past a point of no return where knowing more will help you more than being ignorant.
Yeah.
You know? Like, is she smart enough to figure that one out? Like, if there's assassinations, people getting shot. We're past the point of, like, if I make if I accidentally taste poison in something that isn't poisoned, and I, like, cause a scene, and then they kill me because I, like, caused a scene. You know, that's more that she's worried about, why she wants to, you know, like, that's why you would keep out of things. But you're at the point where you're like a envoy, part of an envoy of, like, the crown prince, and running around, like, completely with complete blinders on, and people are getting shot at, and you're falling into waterfalls and shit. Like, at some point, I think it's more helpful for you to know things than to be ignorant of things.
Yeah, it's like knowing, yeah, just knowing that, like, your life could be it's exactly like last time. It's like, if Jinshi had told her the real stakes of this mission and how important he really was, then she would have suspected a potential assassination and wouldn't have let him get in that position in the first place. She would have, I don't know, maybe put, like, damp towels under his, like, clothes, or made sure that he had this, like, electrolyte drink throughout the day, so that he, you know, maybe with a straw, or, like,
and then he wouldn't
taking
even
him
need to
aside.
leave. Yeah.
But because he didn't tell her, then he was in this bad position. Because and it's like Gaoshun was saying, it's like, she's really smart. Things are getting intense. We will probably need her. So, and we can't have her kind of halfway at this point, because it's like, if she doesn't know, she will not go out of her way to know something that she feels like is, like, you know, escalating the situation. Unless she, like, notices something to do with poison, and then she's gonna insert herself as much as she tries not to, you know? But...
yeah, maybe she'll find the truth, and she'll just be like, you know what, fuck this.
What if she finds... well, she already knows that he's not a eunuch, but, like, I wonder if she'll, like, end up finding his, like, bottle of, stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
probably.
Or she'll see Gaoshun drinking out of it, or she'll, like, suspect him too, and then she's like, okay, you know.
But it looks like Gaoshun is a eunuch.
Oh, I thought that before he said that he took that medicine too, but maybe he
I thought he did too. I thought he was drinking it with Jinshi. That's why I was confused when he was talking with this guy, and then in his brain was saying, I lived my life, or where did he say it?
I think it was a little bit before that. I think it was when he was, like, talking to that guy.
It must be terrible being forced to be eunuch because you angered the Empress.
I feel like that's just their cover story, right?
But yeah, but doesn't he say something in his head? Past is past. More importantly, this drink suits the moon very well. And then in his head, I became a eunuch, discarded the Ma name, and changed it to Gaoshun.
But he's still, like, becoming a eunuch for all intents and purposes, whether he, like, fully is one or not. But
at parties, I am treated as one of the Ma family. Because, yeah, the Ma clan was him and Boston's clan, who are, like, the fucking Ackermans of... you know, the royal family. Yeah, I mean, he has kids, so he could be, but it would probably, like, ruin his effectiveness as a as a guard if he wasn't as strong because he was a eunuch, and so he was like pissing himself and didn't have any testosterone.
Yeah, and Maomao has said multiple times also that Gaoshun is like not like he's not like other eunuchs.
Yeah, well, it's because he wasn't made a eunuch as a young man. You know, if he was made a eunuch, yeah, it's just the wording of this line. It could be a translation or a wording, a subs thing, because yeah, I became a eunuch, discarded the because the fact he says that in his head, is he talking about playing the part of a eunuch?
Yeah.
Or is he talking about he did become a eunuch, and change, and he drinks the shit to like, I don't know, look more pudgy or something? Come off like more of a eunuch? I don't know.
Yeah, because I thought he was drinking that stuff before. Yeah, like maybe if he really fully was, then that would be kind of insane, you know?
It wouldn't be that crazy because he's got kids. He's got grandkids.
Yeah.
As far as we heard. So it wouldn't be that crazy. But it's just confusing me because we did see them, all right, time for our medicine, and then they drink their medicine together.
Yeah. It's kind of like, we're in this together.
Yeah.
We're both not eunuchs pretending to be
And I don't think
eunuchs.
he was doing it to help Jinshi drink
Yeah,
his.
he's
So
not
like, look, you're like, yeah.
Look, I'm gonna drink
I'm drinking mine. 1, 2, and then just like drinks it with Jinshi. As Jinshi's like a 19-year-old man. Yeah.
No, I must not listen. Wait. So dumb. So funny.
And then, yeah, they throw in the scene at the start, just one last thing about how Boston's like, I can never tell what he's thinking. Does he even know what's going on?
Yeah.
I think he probably does. He just, or maybe you know what? Maybe he's just such a mastermind that he set it up so that he like, here's what I want to happen. You guys figure it out. I'm not going to know the details, kind of like how Maomao does, where it's just like,
Or even he doesn't even say, you guys do this, I don't want to know the details. He just creates a situation where should there be a third party that is wanting to pull an assassination, which there likely is just because of the nature of things, he's like setting up the perfect opportunity that should an assassin be lurking around on the grounds, they're gonna have a good setup, and he's genuinely going to have nothing to do with it, even though he secretly is pleased about it, you know? And also, yeah, the whole thing about how he extends the party, like, because he's like he's just saying there, like, okay, if the party was over, I could go and be looking for Jinshi, but I'm not allowed to leave this spot because that's not my place, and I'm stuck here just waiting for him to come back, but you know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah. But he's knowingly letting the party go on because he could be, if he was worried or concerned, he could be like, okay, the party is dismissed, knowing that would let Jinshi's attendant go after him and find him. So it's, regardless of his level of involvement, there's no way that he doesn't know the potential risks, I guess.
True. Leave a like and subscribe. See you next time, Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.